I recently watched The Dumbest Anime, and I was genuinely convinced that it could not get worse. Low-key, the short kind of flopped, but it did bring about an amazing idea. The only comment on the entire short was by this person named Galaxy Kid. You think you know dumb? Well, it's a good thing I'm here, bud. Go ahead and try to watch the anime King's Game, and you'll see what happens there, sir. Well, they didn't actually say it like that, but it was something just super close. For some reason, with my limited time to make videos and watch anime, I took this person up on their weird recommendation, and I really wish I didn't. What came next was the worst hour of my entire life. Worse than any breakup, worse than any broken bone, worse than listening to my coworkers' SoundCloud music, which, to be honest, if you could hear the music I hear from my coworkers at work, you'd be pretty surprised that something could be worse.
These niggas ain't hurting!
It was so bad I could only watch 3 episodes, but judging by the series graph, it's a good thing I saved my time. So let me actually explain what this show is, because I think that alone will save some of you from making my same mistake. King's Game, or Osama Game, is about a high school class that starts receiving text messages from somebody called the King, and the King gives the class orders. Follow the order, you're fine. Don't follow the order, you die, in genuinely the goofiest way possible. Now on paper that actually kinda sounds cool, right? It's like survival horror, social pressure, who do you trust, and there's genuinely a good show buried somewhere in that premise, which... go watch my Ganoja video, because that's what that is. The problem is that the people who made this found that good show, looked it dead in the eyes, and then ran in the opposite direction as fast as they possibly could. The main character's name is Nobuki, and he has this whole tragic backstory because, get this, he was also in a King's Game before at a different school, which means somehow this supernatural death game found him twice. This guy is genuinely the anime equivalent of a person who gets struck by lightning, then immediately walks back outside holding a metal rod. You'd think after surviving one King's Game, your first move would maybe be to transfer to a school in another country, maybe homeschool, carry your pigeon your homework in, but no, Nobuki just enrolled somewhere new, made 20 new friends, and acted surprised when the text started again. Now the show tries to tell both stories at the same time, the current King's Game and the flashback to the original one. And I want you to try to imagine following 2 different horror stories simultaneously, except both of them are bad and neither of them ever explains anything. You don't know who the king is, you don't know why the game exists, you don't know why it targets specific classes, and the show doesn't really care that you don't know. It's less interested in building the mystery and more interested in killing off characters you met 45 seconds ago in ways that are supposed to feel emotional. And that's probably the biggest reason this show just doesn't work. It mistakes shock for storytelling. Every episode somebody dies in a way that's meant to make you feel something, but you have no reason to feel anything because these characters have the depth of a store brand paper towel. The show introduces like 20 characters in episode 1, and then it starts eliminating them before you've even learned their names. And I'm not exaggerating that. Like, there's a character, Tsubasa, who dies in episode 1 because he fell asleep. That's it. That's his whole arc. He existed, he got tired, and he died. And there's another guy whose name I genuinely had to look up just to tell you the story, Tatsuya, who dies on day 2, with the cause of death literally being listed as unspecified. The show couldn't even bother to decide how he went out, he just stopped existing between the scenes. It's less like a horror anime and more watching somebody read names off of a list. Tsubasa dead, Tatsuya dead, we think it's unclear. There's also this bizarre creative decision where every order from the king escalates to absolutely unhinged levels like almost immediately. There's almost no buildup. Most good horror understands tension. You start small, you get under the audience's skin, and then you slowly raise the stakes. King's Game skips all of that and goes from 0 to completely off the rails by like episode 2. It's the storytelling equivalent of somebody trying to scare you by just screaming directly in your face. Is it startling? Sure, the first time, but is it scary? No. Are you gonna keep sitting there and let them do it to you for 12 seconds? No, I could only deal with it for 3. And the orders themselves are where this show really loses me. The first order Nobuki gets in episode 1 is to kiss a girl named Natsuko. Which, okay, a little weird as an opener, but fine, set the tone and shows the game is uncomfortable. But then the show is immediately also doing flashbacks where orders include things like a popularity vote where the loser literally throws herself out a window rather than waiting for her punishment. No build-up, no escalation, just straight to jumping out of the windows. And then later, somebody gets an order to text the word die to 2 of their classmates, which then causes a whole chain reaction. And then there's the logic of the show. The king's orders have to be followed within a specific time limit or people die, right? And the characters spend a lot of time trying to figure out ways around the orders, which is fine, that's pretty cool. That's what you and I would do. But the solutions they come up with and the reasons certain things work or don't work follow absolutely no consistent rules. The show just decides what happens based on whatever is most dramatic at that moment. You can't build suspense around rules that just don't exist. It's like playing a board game where the person who owns it just makes up new rules whenever they're losing. I genuinely think a 12-year-old wrote this on a Saturday afternoon and somehow got it greenlit. And I don't mean that as like a quirky exaggeration. I mean the whole thing has the energy of someone's first creative writing assignment where they wanted it to feel dark and edgy and mature, but had never actually experienced any of those things. Real darkness in storytelling comes from character, from consequence, from making you care before things go wrong. King's Game just skips straight to the going wrong part and hopes you didn't notice there was supposed to be something before it. And I actually went and checked what other people thought about this show, hoping maybe I was missing something. I wanted to love the show, but no. So should you watch it? No, definitely not. Not even ironically. And I know some of you are the type of people, I'm one of those people, who hears this is terrible and thinks, okay, but how terrible? Let me find out for myself. And look, I genuinely respect that. I'm like that too. But King's Game is not the fun kind of bad. It's not so bad it's good. It's not even so bad that it's interesting or funny. It's just a little exhausting. It's the kind of show that makes you feel like your time has actual physical weight. And this anime just stole it from you, and you're never getting that time back. Literally watch something else. Watch anything else. And this video is enough of an experience as you need with this anime. And to be honest, I don't really like to bag on anime. I mainly wanted this channel to be an anime glazing channel, but my pal Galaxy Kid commented and sparked my interest in this goofy little anime. And to be honest, it was a genuinely fun video to make, so yeah, thanks for watching.